Welcome to Good Morning Remax and Top Producer Tuesday. We have three great Remax top producers with us this morning: Gary Ashton, Lori McGuire, and Octavius Q. Burdett. And now here he is from his home, Nick Bailey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning Remax. And as Pam said, Top Producer Tuesday. I'm super excited today about this episode because it is really focused on real estate. And here's why. You know, a lot's happened over the last couple of months with the stay-at-home orders in real estate. And I am hearing from agents and brokerages over the last couple of weeks that they are busier than they've ever been. And so we're going to talk about some of that today. But before mentioning that, I also just want to say that there's a lot going on. There has been in our world in the last couple of months. And here at GMR, we just want to make sure that we're keeping you informed, educating, talking about real estate, and also having some laughs along the way. So how are we doing in real estate? You know, we've been watching a lot of the leading indicators like showings, pendings throughout this entire process over the past few months. And here's what we've seen in the last 2 weeks. Given, of course, some states are on different timing than others and other countries. But for the most part, we are seeing showings on the rise, pendings on the rise, inventory on the rise, and rates remaining low. All of those things work very well, as you know, for our business. And so some of the showings, in fact, go to showingtime.com. You can look at the map by state. Some states have the highest level of showing activity so far this year. So we believe that we're going to have a really strong spring and summer market combined. So with that, there's one thing, though, that I want to mention that we're keeping an eye on, which is mortgage forbearance. There are approximately 4.3 million Americans that took advantage and signed up for mortgage forbearance. But keep in mind, every servicer has different timing, different rules around it, and we'll see how those will either stay in place, be extended or not, because that could have an impact on it. So too soon to tell, but it is something that we should all keep an eye on in our local markets. Next up, we have Lori McGuire, and she is from Laguna Niguel, California with Remax Select One. She's the president and CEO of the McGuire team. Hi, Lori.
Good morning.
I've known you for years. We were just talking before we got started that you and I did an introduction for you at a luxury event a number of years ago. And so it's wonderful to see you back.
I know. It's always great to see you.
You are just a machine as well. I know you do a ton in the high end. Your average price, like 1.4 million.
Yeah.
And nearly $80 million. How short were you? $80 million.
Oh, it was just, gosh, I mean, it was,
I'm rubbing this in.
79,856. It was like
80 million, Mom.
So round it up. Round it up to 80. So this year, over 100. That's my goal.
Over 100 this year. And are you tracking? Are you ahead? Equal?
Yeah. We're up quite a bit. We're up, well, in commissions, I hate to go off commissions, but we're up 414,000 year to date from last year.
Incredible. Even with what's happened the last couple months.
Yeah, it's just so astounding. Yeah.
Well, let me bring in our third guest, some of the secrets on how you handle, because you get hundreds of them a day now. But before we do that, Lori, I want to ask you,
Sure.
you class act to the industry, and you've just done so well in real estate. How did you do so well, get into the high end? I mean, so many agents want that piece of the market, but not everyone gets it.
Okay, when I initially got into the high end, first of all, I started in real estate in a small town called Ridgecrest. And so I started with a price point of $65,000 was my average sales price. And then I moved from Ridgecrest 2 years later to Orange County. So I just had to start all over. And then I started in Orange County, and my average sales price went up to about $350,000. So I was selling homes at an average price of about $450,000. And then I started buying homes that were more expensive. I don't recommend that to everyone to do, but to get into neighborhoods so I could farm those neighborhoods, and I would farm them like heck. So the last neighborhood I got into where the average price home was in the 2 million range. I ended up buying the property, but I really worked that neighborhood. So I threw parties at my house, and threw parties for the clients. So I threw the going away party at my house, and I invited the neighborhood, and I had them invite their friends, so their friends would come to my big house, and I was there for 9 years. And I use that house like a business, just for business transactions. I mean, I hate to say that. Um, but now I live in a much simpler lifestyle, and I don't need such a big house, thank goodness. So I live in a much smaller place, and now I invest wisely in lots of income properties. I own over 50 income properties. But I got into high end doing that. Now, I don't feel that you necessarily have to buy a big home to get into the high end. Sometimes it's a matter of proving yourself to that seller. You're up against all these people. And I don't ever recommend being a discount broker, but sometimes that for that first listing, you have to say, because you have to get yourself in the door. You just have to say, okay, I'm willing to do a graduated scale for you. So if I can't get X price, I will go down on my commission by this price, because I believe in myself so much. I'm going to push this. I'm going to do this. And you're up against this high competition with these very high-end brokers, and they had to get in the door with some property, with one person. Once you're in the door and you've proven yourself, it's so much easier to get higher end listings. Right now I have an $18 million listing. So, you just have to get in the door.
But I think you said something really key there is, you chose to move in the neighborhood to get to know people and use your house as a business. But what it was really about is you were surrounding yourself by the people in the price range that you wanted to sell. So you were putting yourself in that position. So that's smart. That's awesome. So let me ask all three of you. We've all been through the same pandemic. How's the business now? And what are you doing, and what's your advice?
When the pandemic started, we were on lockdown for a couple weeks, so we really couldn't do much. We could go out, Costco was still open and everything, but we didn't really know we couldn't do showings or anything. So we sent out a mass text message to our database. And in that, and I know some areas are opening up right now, but in this text message, we just said, like, for instance, it was customized to each person. We said, "Hi, Rita, I hope you're doing well. I know a lot of people are going through a difficult time right now. My team and I are getting and delivering food / supplies for those who need help. Please let me know if you or your family are in need of anything," smiley face emoji. Lori McGuire and the McGuire team of RE/MAX with a home emoji. And the response was really overwhelming. So I always had runners out there going to Costco and getting supplies and everything. And just the response was like, "Thank you so much for thinking about us. And oh, by the way, when this is over, we want to sell our house." So it was a good way to connect with people, but instead of connecting in a way like, "Hey, are you still thinking about real estate?" We really wanted to help out, and that was the most important thing, is to try to help the community. And so we were running to Costco, but most people would not take us up on it. Most people were saying, "Oh no, we're fine, but thank you so much, and I'll keep you in mind." So then it started opening up, and then we've been going on appointments with masks and gloves and all that. My first listing appointment with masks on and gloves, I felt so awkward. And then the seller, I brought my listing appointment in, my package in, and I was like so uncomfortable. Like, am I supposed to give this to them? Are they supposed to touch it? So I just kind of laughed it off. I said, "You know what? I feel really uncomfortable. This is the first time I'm doing this." And then they started laughing, and they were interviewing other realtors, but I ended up getting the listing, but I just kind of laughed with them, because we were all staring at each other like, what the heck are we doing? So it's just, little by little, we're getting into it, but the sales have been incredible through this.
And are you seeing some of those people that you made contact with? Are they now coming back and saying, "I'm ready to list," or "We're ready to shop"?
Oh, absolutely. The phone's been ringing off the hook. Sales are going up. Listing, I think, 6 or 7 homes just in the next week. So it's really, really big. I'm very grateful.
I'll tell you what, You three are amazing. Thank you for taking time now that it's busy and you stopped today and took time to be here with us. So proud to be affiliated with all three of you. You're an inspiration to us, and I appreciate you sharing with our network.
Awesome. Enjoyed it. Good fun. Good to meet everybody else as well, actually.
Yeah.
It's very inspiring, both of you. Really were.
Thanks.
Well, you as well.
Okay, your goals for
Thank
this year. You'll make it. Awesome. They are machines. I'll tell you what. Awesome to have them. Okay, real quick, up next, we want to make sure that we recognize an everyday hero. And Tavia Ritter from RE/MAX of Reading nominated Kevin Snyder as this week's everyday hero. And their team, for the last 2 weekends, they've put together free meals for the community and front lines and responders. And so once again, it just shows all of the great things that the network is doing. So Kevin, hats off to you and your team for being an everyday hero. And as a reminder, please send those in to us. If you want to nominate someone or share a story with us, email us at gmr@remax.com. So sanitizing kits. Folks, over 45,000 of these were ordered. They were gone, flew off the shelves in the first week. We worked with Deluxe to restock. They'll be ready to go June 8th. And we dropped in the comments. You can go to the site. Here it is on the screen as well. You can call the number or go to realestatebydeluxe.com/RE/MAX. And these are moving so quickly. Use them for buyers, sellers, your agents, your recruits, however you can. So with that, I want to thank everyone for this June 2nd edition of Top Producer Tuesday and Good Morning RE/MAX. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, everyone.